So Black Myth Wukong is only just around the corner now. We're only a few days from launch, and with that, it's time to talk about all of the different editions for this game to give you guys all the information you need so that you can decide which version of the game you want to buy. Now, getting stuck straight into it, there are actually 4 separate editions for this game, with those being the Standard Edition, the Digital Deluxe Edition, the Regular Deluxe Edition, or technically the Physical Deluxe Edition, as well as lastly the Collector's Edition too. So there is plenty of different editions for us to go through. Now, it is also worth keeping in mind that the game is currently launching on PC, PS5 and Xbox, although it is currently delayed on the Xbox due to the Xbox Series S. I'm sure you guys will know that the Series S is essentially like a slightly lower quality version of the Series X. It's a more affordable option, but it does mean that the quality and the power isn't quite there, and that has kind of led to a delay on Xbox because they're really struggling to make the game work as intended on that Series S, which is a little bit unfortunate for Series X users because the game is probably working just fine on the Series X considering it's as powerful as the PS5. And so because of that, I'm gonna kind of exclude Xbox from this video simply because we don't know when that launch date is gonna be, but it will eventually be launching on Xbox. So if you guys are on Xbox, don't worry, you will eventually be able to play, but unfortunately, we actually don't know the date as of right now. Now, getting stuck straight into the Standard Edition, this one is obviously very simple. If you buy the Standard Edition, you will simply get the base game, and that is all that there is to it. Now, this costs $59.99 US, so it is actually cheaper than most games these days. Most games are around that $70 mark, as obviously with the next gen consoles coming in, the price has sort of increased over the last few years from $60 that it used to be up to $70. But like I said, this game is actually essentially $60. So as good as this game looks, it's pretty crazy that it is actually technically cheaper than most games on the market. Now, it's also worth mentioning that even though I said this is just the base game, if you do pre-order the Standard Edition, and this goes for all editions, you will also get the Trailblazers Scarlet Gourd. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that is. They haven't really explained what this is, but it is just an in-game item, and the devs have confirmed it's also obtainable through in-game progression. So this won't be exclusive to pre-orders. It just means you are pretty much going to get it earlier on. I'd imagine this is going to be the type of thing that's very helpful for us to have, and therefore it is kind of like worth pre-ordering. If you guys know that you're going to get this game, you may as well pre-order because you're going to get that earlier, and it doesn't cost any more, obviously. So that is what we get with the Standard Edition, just the base game. And like I said, if you pre-order, you will get that Trailblazers Scarlet Gourd. Now, before we get on to the final 3 editions of the game, if you guys are new to the channel and you are interested in more Black Myth Wukong content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. There is so much more content on the way, so make sure you don't miss out. Now, next up, we've got the Digital Deluxe Edition. This is also available on both PC and PS5. And with this, obviously, once again, comes the base game as well as that same pre-order bonus. So keep that in mind. Pre-ordering any of these editions, you will get that same pre-order bonus. Now, this one comes in at $69.99 US. So like I said, this is pretty much just the same price as most games, even though this is actually the Digital Deluxe Edition. So if you guys are super keen on this game, it could probably be worth getting this Deluxe Edition because it's pretty much just the same cost as most games on the market. It's not really going to feel like you're paying up for that Digital Deluxe Edition because it's kind of the amount that we're used to spending on games these days. Now, with this Digital Deluxe Edition, there are some pretty awesome bonuses that we're going to get here, essentially an armor set and some other in-game items. All of these items are the Bronze Cloud Staff, which is just essentially a different staff that we get to use. I'm not sure if it's actually going to have different damage stats and stuff, or if it is essentially just a skin. I would have to wager that it is most likely a skin, but it may deal a little bit more damage, which would definitely be very helpful. Now, we also get the Folk Opera Mask, the Folk Opera Almsgiving Armor, the Folk Opera Leather Braces, and the Folk Opera Buskins, all of which go together, obviously, as a completely new armor set. So that's kind of the main thing that we're getting with this Digital Deluxe Edition. We're essentially getting a new weapon, even though it's still a staff, it's not going to be drastically different than the base weapon, as well as a pretty awesome looking armor set too. On top of that as well, we're also getting wind chimes, which I'm not too sure what that actually is. It's an in-game item, but I'm not sure what it's going to do. They've been very vague about a lot of this stuff. And on top of that too, you will also get the digital soundtrack for the game as well. So like I said, that is actually a pretty solid package there, considering this is pretty much the same price as a regular game. So it's kind of like you're getting all that extra stuff for no extra money. And if you guys are keen on the game, honestly, you may as well get this one. Although with that being said, you also just may as well save yourself $10. So both of these editions are pretty well priced in my opinion. Now, next up we have the regular deluxe edition, or technically it's the physical deluxe edition. So even though the last one was also called the digital deluxe edition, this one is actually far pricier than that one. And keep in mind, this one and the next one I'm going to go through as well, they are PC only. So the ones that I've gone through already, they're available on the PS5. The ones I'm about to go through, you cannot get them on the PS5, and most likely not on the Xbox either once it launches over there too. This deluxe edition is going to cost $169 US, so it is more than double the price, but you are going to get some pretty awesome stuff. Like I said, this is a physical edition, so you're going to get physical items as well as in-game items. This one is almost a bit more like a typical collector's edition. With this deluxe edition, like I said, you're going to get everything that you got in that previous edition. So that armor set, the staff, and the soundtrack and all that kind of thing. On top of that, you're then going to get a steel case, which looks absolutely awesome. You're going to get a wind chime necklace, the gold sun crow pin, the thunderstone ring, a warranty certificate, stamps and postcards. There's also a chaos at the pearls banquet, and then finally the constricting headband as well. So all of those things are physical items. There's literal rings and like headbands and stuff in there as well, even a necklace and stuff. So there is a lot there, and obviously that does mean the price is quite a bit higher. But again, this is a bit more in line with the typical collector's edition. And if you guys are super keen on this game and you want some of this stuff, then realistically, it probably is worth the price. It's one of those things that is realistically just down to how much you're willing to spend on getting some of these items. Now, last but not least, there is finally the collector's edition of this game. And this one comes in at $400 US. So this one is very, very expensive, as all collector's editions are. Obviously, collector's editions for every game, they always come with a lot of awesome stuff, and that hikes the price up quite a bit. And again, it's kind of down to what you think is worth spending that money on. To me personally, spending $400 on a game, that's kind of ridiculous. But that being said, there are games out there that I probably would spend this money for if it had some really awesome stuff. So it's kind of just down to everyone's personal preference. Now, the thing with the collector's edition is that everything that you got in that previous edition, the deluxe edition, you're going to get in this edition as well, but they will remove that constricting headband, and instead of that, they're going to replace it with a 40 centimeter really, really high quality collectible figurine of the main character of the game. And this figurine is called Confront Destiny. It looks absolutely sick. I'm a big fan of the look of the main character. I believe his name is Sun Wukong, but we actually haven't really had confirmation just yet, but I think he looks awesome, and this figurine looks super high quality. So to those of you out there who are interested in collecting and having awesome figurines and stuff like that, to be honest, this one is probably worth it, because those alone, sometimes these sorts of figurines can cost about the same amount that this whole freaking collector's edition costs. So although the price is obviously very high, it does look very high quality, and I've got to say it looks pretty damn awesome. So that is it for all 4 of the different editions of Black Myth Wukong. Like I said, those first 2 that I mentioned, the standard edition and the digital deluxe edition, they are available on both the PC and the PS5, and eventually on Xbox once it launches. But those final 2, the deluxe edition and the collector's edition, they are only for PC. I just wanted to reiterate that because that is done a little bit differently than how it is across most games. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. I'm keen to hear which of these editions you think is the most worth it, so be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.